let us solve problems on combined loading. Okay. So here we have three types of load. One is axial load, bending load, and torsional load. If they are acting independently, individually, we call them as simple stress. If they are acting, if both bending and torsional loads are acting, we call them as compound stresses. Okay. So here, what are the formulae to be used while you solving when you are going to solve the combined loading? Let us see the formula first. So if there is only direct axial load, then the direct stress due to axial load can be calculated as load by area. Sigma T is equal to F by A. F is the load, A is the area. So it is a simple tensile stress or compressive stress which can be calculated as load by area. It's a well-known formula for you when the load is just a simple direct stress. Now, if the stress induced is a bending stress which is due to the bending load. If the load acting is a bending load, then stress induced is known as bending stress. How to calculate this stress means using the formula bending equation we are going to use here. Sigma B is equal to mb by I into C. What is this mb? mb is the bending moment. How to calculate the bending moment? It is nothing but load into distance. What is I? The moment of inertia. I is equal to pi by 64 d to the power of 4 for a circular section. I is equal to pi by 64 d to the power of 4 for circular section. And C is nothing but d by 2. That is distance of the outermost layer to the neutral axis. For a circular object it will be d by 2, diameter divided by 2. And if the stress acting is due to the torsional load is going to induce the shear stress. Bending load is going to induce the bending stress. Now we came to know how to calculate the bending stress. Now let us see how to calculate the shear stress which is induced due to the torsional load. Okay, so it can be calculated as tau is equal to Ft by J into C. What is this tau? It is the shear stress. Shear stress due to the torsional load. Okay. What is Mt? It is the torque induced J pi by 32 d to the power of 4. Okay. So C is nothing but d by 2. As we know, C is nothing but d by 2. J is pi by 32 d to the power of 4 for circular objects. Okay. Now let us solve a problem. Here is a problem which has been asked in the examination. Here the shaft is of diameter 50 mm and length 250 mm. Okay. It is subjected to an axial load of 15 kN. You can just see here, this is the axis, and along the axis there is a tensile load of 15 kN. So it is along the axis. We call this as the axial load. Axial load is 15 kN. Now, second one is the bending load. Okay, here the load is acting here at this point. It is going to cause the bending of the member. Hence, we call this load as the bending load. Okay, its magnitude is given as 3 kN. Okay, the bending load given is 3 kN. Now, one more load is also acting. Here is the torsional load. Okay, the torsional load is going to twist the member, which in turn is going to induce the shear stress. Okay, so the torsional load is given as 1 kN meter. Okay, so here there are three loads are acting. One is the axial load, this is the axial load, and this is the bending load, and here is the torsional load. So we can call this as a combined loading case. Okay, combination of three loads. So how to find? The question is, they have asked to find the maximum and minimum stress at the point A and B. We need to find the maximum and minimum stress at the point A and B. So before going to that, we have to find out these values, what we discussed now. So what is the stress induced due to the axial load? What is the stress induced due to the bending load? What is the bending stress due to the bending load? And what is the shear stress due to the torsional load? Okay, so let us find these three values. Then we will go for calculation of maximum and minimum stresses at point A and B. Okay, let us start. First is the direct stress due to axial load. Direct stress due to axial load, which is that it is the 15 kN is the axial load. it is going to induce just direct stress, which can be calculated as load by area. Load is 15 kilonewton, 15 into 10 raised to 3. Kilo indicates 10 raised to 3. So 15 into 10 raised to 3. What is area? Since it is circular, phi indicates it is a circular shaft. Okay. So area can be calculated as pi by 4 d square. Area is pi by 4 d square. Diameter is 50. Just substitute the value of diameter as 50. You will get the value of direct stress. You have to calculate this value. Next, second one is the bending stress due to the bending load. Which is the bending load? Here the load 3 kilonewton is the bending load, which is going to induce the bending stress. Okay, so bending stress due to bending load can be calculated using the formula mb by I into C. What is mb? mb is the bending moment, which is nothing but load into distance, F into L. What is the load? Load is 3 kilonewton. And what is the distance? We are considering up at this point, so the distance comes to be 250. The span itself is the distance 250. So load, I'll take it as 3 kilonewton. 3 kilonewton means it is 3000 newton, because kilo means 10 raised to 3, nothing but 1000. So load is 3000 and distance is this span. It is from this load to this point, the distance is 250. So I have taken distance as 250. So first you should calculate MB. MB is F into L, perpendicular distance. Load into perpendicular distance. Load is 3 kilonewton. Converted into newtons, it is 3000 into distance is 250. What is I? I is the moment of inertia, pi by 64 d to the power of 4. What is d? The diameter. Diameter is given as 50. So substitute d value as 50. And what is C? C is nothing but d by 2. It is the distance of the neutral axis to the uppermost layer. So here is the neutral axis and here is the uppermost layer. So from here to here, this dimension is nothing but total d divided by 2. So it is d by 2. D is the 50 by 2. Okay. So this is the value of C. Substitute all the values and calculate the value of bending stress. Now let us go for shear stress. How to calculate the shear stress? Shear stress is due to this torsional load. The third load is the torsional load. We calculated the stress due to axial load, bending load, and now we are moving for the third load, that is nothing but the torsional load, which is going to induce the shear stress. How to calculate? Tau is equal to mt by J into C. What is mt? It is the torque induced. How much it is? The torque is given as 1 kilonewton meter. 1 kilo means 1 kilonewton meter. Kilo means it is 10 raised to 3 Newton. Meter means it is again 10 raised to 3 mm. 1 meter is equal to 1000 mm. Okay. 1 kilonewton means it is 1000 Newton. So it is 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 3. It becomes 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. Because we have substituted the value of diameter in mm, we have to substitute the torque is also in Newton mm. So it is kilo 10 raised to 3, meter is converted into mm, it is equal to 1000 mm. So 10 raised to 3 to 10 raised to 3, it becomes 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. So I substituted the value of torque as 1 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. What is J? Polar moment of inertia. Its value for support shaft is pi by 32 into d to the power of 4. D is given as 50. Just substitute. And what is C? As we know, C is nothing but d by 2. So diameter by 2. Substitute and get the value of tau. Okay. So once we know these three stresses, now we can go for calculation of maximum and minimum stresses at point A and B. Yes. Now let us go for calculating the maximum and minimum stress at point A and B. How to calculate that? So let us consider the point A first. Consider the point A. So normal stress at A can be calculated as the sigma T plus sigma B. What is sigma T? It is the tensile stress. What we have got now, sigma T plus sigma B. Okay, we are going to add these two to get the normal stress at A. Why we are going to add these two means, you can observe here, when due to the bending load, the member is going to bend like this. So here it is the tensile stress and our upper layer is also under tension. When the member is going to bend, the upper layer will be under tension. That is, at point A, there is a tensile load due to the bending load and also tensile stress due to the axial stress. So when it bends, it is going to have like here there is a tension, elongation of the member at point A. So because of both are tensile in direction, tensile in nature, so I am going to add sigma T plus sigma B to get the value of sigma at A. And tau, whatever it is, tau due to the shear stress, what we got, the same value. This tau, whatever you got, the same value you have to substitute here. So now we know the value of sigma and tau. To calculate the maximum normal stress, the formula is sigma by 2 plus under root of sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. We know the value of sigma here, which can be obtained by adding sigma T plus sigma B. What we have calculated here, this is sigma T and here is sigma B. So here if you add these two, you will get the value of sigma, substitute the value of sigma here. Tau is the value what we have calculated here, substitute them, sigma and tau, you will get the value of maximum normal stress at A. Minimum normal stress at A can be found as, using the formula, same formula, instead of plus you have to use minus because it is minimum normal stress. Again substitute the value of sigma and tau and get the answer. What is the value of maximum shear stress? It can be calculated as under root of sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. Substitute the value of sigma and tau and get the answer for maximum shear stress. Okay. So this is about the maximum minimum normal stress at A and maximum shear stress at A. Now let us go for point B. Consider the point B. Here is the point B. If you observe the point B here, when the beam is going to bend, the upper layer is under tension whereas lower layer is under compression. Okay, so lower layer is compressed. So because of that compression, I am going to use minus sign here because the bending stress has compressed the member. So I cannot use plus. Here there is a upper layer, there is a tension. So we have added both sigma T and sigma B. Whereas at point B what happened? The member has compressed. So I had to subtract sigma T minus sigma B. Okay. So whatever the value of sigma T you got here and sigma B, what you got, just substitute them, you will get the value of sigma at B. Now what is the shear stress at B? It can be calculated just by using the same answer. Tau value what we got here, the same value we can substitute. This is the value of shear stress at B. Okay. So now we know the value of sigma and tau at point B. Now we need to find the maximum, minimum and maximum shear stress at point B. So maximum normal stress can be found using the formula, same formula what we used here. Okay. So only the value of sigma changes here. Okay. Here the value of sigma is different and here it is different because it is added and here it is subtracted because here is tension and here it is compression. So what the value of sigma you get, the same value substitute here to find the maximum normal stress and substitute the value of tau, okay, and get the answer for this maximum normal stress. And similarly find the minimum normal stress using the formula sigma by 2 minus sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square under root. Okay, substitute these values sigma and tau to get the answer for point B. Similarly, maximum shear stress can be found using the formula under root of sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. Okay. So here sigma is known, tau is known. Get the answer for tau max. This is how we can calculate the values of maximum and minimum normal stress at point A and B. Okay. So this is the problem of combined loading where there are three loads are acting simultaneously. It's very important from exam point of view. So solve this problem.